Well, hello and an extremely warm welcome to my channel. My name is Louise Savage of Louise Savage Muses. A warm welcome if you're a returning viewer and an equally warm welcome if you are viewing my channel for the very first time. So my book of the month this month is actually non-fiction, which I'm really pleased about. Not only that, it's non-fiction by a female author. And by the time this... Oh, will it? Yes, I think by the time this video goes out, I will have interviewed the author as well, which I'm really, really excited to do because I've just finished the book and it is absolutely brilliant. And it is Susannah Stapleton's That Dark Spring. I hope you can see that all right. And this novel, no, sorry, I can't help it. I'm so used to talking about fiction. I'm referring it to a novel, get my words out in a minute. I'm referring to it as if it's a novel, and it isn't. But the story in here is so compelling. It's as close to reading fiction as non-fiction can be, in my opinion. It's fantastically thoroughly researched, and yet you don't feel that research being imposed on you at any point as you read this story. So, and I'm calling it a story because it's a crime, it's an unsolved crime. And the whole thing absolutely fascinated me right from the beginning. And Susannah manages to make it deeply atmospheric as well. So it's 1929. We're in Provence in France, somewhere between Arles and Avignon. So it's kind of got that whole sort of Van Gogh and ancient history background to it. So there's all of that going on. And Susannah takes us to this very, very small village. Well, I say it's a small village. It's big enough that it's got two tiny hotels in it. And it's the 1920s, but it's kind of become the sort of place that might just about have been included in a grand tour of Europe, because it's got this fantastic ruined castle plateau. It's extremely scenic, and it's in these sort of little mini Alps, so it's quite hilly and beautiful. And the story opens, the story of Olive's life opens with Olive disappearing. So Olive Branson was an artist. She lived in this village for, I think she'd been living there for about 5 years or so at least. The local villagers call her the Anglaise because she's an English woman. And anyway, she's vanished. So people are sort of looking for her. They're worried about her. And the body turns up in the cistern in the garden outside her farmhouse. It's one of these French masses. It's like a sort of farmhouse that she lives in. And the body has a bullet wound to the temple. Immediately there is a sort of agreement amongst the local police that she must have committed suicide. But when the police from the city get involved, a different perspective is put on this, on her death, and a murder investigation ensues. What's wonderful about this is that Susannah takes you to meet pretty much everybody in the village, all the sort of concerned characters. And it seems to be sort of an archetypal remote French village where the villagers are quite sort of grumpy, and they don't welcome strangers, and they don't like the sort of routine of their life being interrupted. So they kind of gang together around this theory of suicide because they don't want to accept that anybody in their community could possibly have murdered Olive. So you've got all that, those wonderful sort of French people, personalities, I should say. We also get to know the detectives who are investigating Olive's story really well, and they vary in terms of their techniques and their attitude towards crime. And of course, you know, forensic forensic detection is in its real infancy. So you also kind of see into that world the sort of development of forensics a little bit. We dip our toes in that. But Olive herself, her personality and her story is completely fascinating. You know, she's an orphan. Her parents die when she's young, and she goes to live with her aunt and uncle, who really nurture her. But nevertheless, she sort of feels a misfit. She's artistic. She goes off, and I mean, I don't want to ruin the book for those of you who might go ahead and read it, because what Susannah Stapleton, the way she structures this book is absolutely brilliant, because you just think you've kind of got your head around everything and you've got all the evidence, and then she drops a bombshell, you know, something that you hadn't, she sort of withheld from you, which completely changes the way that you feel about the crime. So you know, I felt as I was reading this as if I was the detective, and I think you know, she does that so skillfully. I really enjoyed trying to work out my own theories about what happened to Olive. There is potentially a kind of love scenario as well that creeps in, and all sorts of shenanigans in this book because of Olive's sort of slightly bohemian lifestyle. So yeah, I just think this book is fantastic. I don't know whether it's eligible for the Women's Prize for Non-Fiction next year, but I really hope it is, because I just think it's a fantastic piece of writing. And what I haven't said is that Susannah Stapleton, the reason it feels like fiction is because her descriptive writing is beautiful. The way that she writes about place, the way that she writes about people. There are a lot of dogs in this book, and the way that the dogs are described and the noises they make, and it's an incredibly atmospheric book. And I think that's a really tough thing to pull off when you're writing non-fiction. So yeah, I absolutely commend this to you as my book of the month. Happy reading, everybody.